Detroit is a picture of post-industrial dereliction. In stark contrast to this desolation is the predominantly Arab suburb of Dearborn. It boasts America's largest mosque and a community of 30,000 largely integrated American Arabs. Like the UK, Dearborn has all the signs of a typical thriving ethnic community. There are cafes, shops, and even a halal McDonald's. On Warren Avenue, the main drag, the Stars and Stripes flies prominently, and the people who serve you speak fluent English. The difference between here and somewhere like Brick Lane is that the community is not visible on the street. If you're looking for street life, you just won't see it. In the town that Henry Ford created, nobody walks.
It's neat. It's kind of like a Muslim Las Vegas. You know, you're driving down the street and street signs lit up in Arabic. Dad is cooking, mom is serving, and you know the kids are at the cash register, that sort of thing. So it really feels warm.
Dearborn's great because it represents that mix of American and Muslim culture. You can be Muslim, but you can be American at the same time, and you can be completely accepted in society.
Muslim migration to Dearborn exploded when Henry Ford opened his factory in 1917. The population here is 2 generations ahead of its UK counterpart, and in census figures, the Arab population is officially classed as white. Unlike the UK, the story of Muslim migration to Dearborn has been a huge success, with fewer problems of cultural integration. For instance, that's the City Hall, and that there is the Arab American National Museum. While UK Muslims are blighted with identity issues, Muslims in Dearborn have found a balance between their heritage and the American way. Their contribution to the prosperity of America is recognised in this museum. It's difficult to imagine something of this magnitude opening anytime soon in the UK.
The first Muslims we are aware of from Arab background that came to this country came actually as slaves from North Africa. This museum is really testimony to Arab Americans and their strength in this country, whether they're Muslim or Christian. If you look at Dearborn itself, I think it's a success story. It's a very vibrant community. We have the airport named after an Arab American of a Muslim background, very international airport, and the level of education is higher actually than the average of the United States.
Even the fallout from September 11th seems to have been weathered. Mosque leaders here don't seem too worried about extremism or homegrown bombers.
Extremism in the youth, we do not worry about because we're spending the time with the youth. The extremist in the preaching area or the imam area, we don't worry about that because most imams know that this is not the way to act anyway. So we continue to monitor this, and monitor it not in a way that we're going to tape someone. If an imam says something that's contrary to Islam or contrary to our government or to our way of life, definitely we're going to confront him.
At Ford Motor Company, Mustafa Saraini is finishing off work for the day. Muslims have worked here at all levels since the turn of the century. It's a Thanksgiving holiday and Mustafa is about to go on a hunting trip.
You got your gun, you got your knife, you got some Hunter's Orange, all good to go. Some corn. All right, dude.
Mustafa's family came here in the 70s. By Dearborn standards, he's still a freshie.
I see myself as an American, I see myself as a Muslim, I see myself as an Arab. I don't know that everybody might see it that way, but it all depends. So when you go to travel into like the old country, they look at you as an American. My oldest brother, Musa, served in the United States Marine Corps. As far as being a Muslim serving in the military, we have just as much interest in protecting our country as the next guy. Just because we're Muslim doesn't mean we're not American.
Hey, grab that, will you? I can't get my hand in there. You got to go through this every time we go hunting. Why do you think I bring you with me?
In the first election I voted for Bush. Once they started pushing for the war in Iraq, my opinion of the administration changed dramatically.
I'll set up right down here. Set up right down there.
It's a national holiday here when deer season opens up. You know, you prepare all summer into the fall there. You're getting ready, you're practicing, you're shooting your gun, and then when a deer appears, you just, all that stuff like disappears. I don't think I got that one, but that's not a bad thing. I'd rather miss them than wound them.
Just in case the hunter-gatherer returns empty-handed, his wife Fadwa is in town shopping for halal Thanksgiving turkey.
This is not a religious holiday. Thanksgiving is a traditional holiday here in the U.S. It's not for the Christians, it's not for Muslims, it's for all people. So in that sense, you see all the crowd coming to get their turkeys. And you know, if you're part of a country, you can't stay in a cocoon, you can't be isolated from people. You interact with other people, and it just shows that, you know, we are part of this country and we are living in this country.
Over here, all Muslims, practically, we all do Thanksgiving. I would say maybe 90% of us do Thanksgiving, and alhamdulillah here we're able to get halal turkeys, where I know somewhere it's very hard to get halal turkeys.
When will people start getting together?
On Thanksgiving we cook a lot. We try to take food to needy people that need it. We try to deliver a turkey. We really prepare, sometimes for 2 days it takes us to prepare the food, to set up. And then we enjoy the Thanksgiving day after and the day after. We eat turkey for like 3-4 days.
Meanwhile, eldest son Musa is keeping his cousins occupied while the family arrives for the big meal.
I'm really an American. I mean, I'm born here, raised here, went to school here, played football here. I mean, done everything here. I mean, since I was a kid, we've always had a turkey dinner, you know, so it might be an American, you know, holiday, but we celebrate it just as good, if not even better.
So how come the men don't do any of the work and the women do all the cooking?
They're lazy. They're just lazy.
I think you should go tell them.
It's more than just a dinner, you know. You see cousins that you haven't seen in a while. Everybody gets to know each other.
The thing with Thanksgiving, though, is that it does have some religious roots, doesn't it? Because it's about the pilgrims and the Christians who came over.
Yes, it does.
So does that not make you feel like as Muslims, you know, this has got nothing to do with us? Why should we be celebrating this?
No, because it all comes down to thanking God, Thanksgiving for the food. So, I mean, every day we thank God, and this just gives us a chance to eat together.
My brother Farid prepared a turkey as well. I'm sure it's delicious, but it doesn't look as robust as this one.
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim. Ihdina as-sirata al-mustaqim.
I'm just stuffing my face. This is my first Thanksgiving. It really seems that it doesn't really matter what kind of background you come from, whether you're Arab or whether you're Pakistani or whether you're white American, you can still enjoy Thanksgiving. As a Brit, it's surprising to see such an overt display of patriotism from Muslims. But with the plight of Muslims in the UK getting much worse, perhaps there are lessons to be learned from the US.